Sir.
It doesn't really matter if you're ready. I already pushed the button. So it's green. It's Wednesday morning. What's going on? All right, so we had some technical troubles yesterday. Everything fell apart. The sound was bad. The audio from the clips didn't run. It was, guys, I'm sorry. But shit happens. It's awkward. I mean, it's not this awkward, but you know. So I had to delete that when we lost a show yesterday. Not a big deal, but it breaks my heart. So we're going to talk about the same stuff today that we talked about yesterday, and then we've got a bonus. So this guys, this is Joe. This is your 2020 frontrunner. This is the guy that would be king. Wow, is he going down in flames?
Yeah, like honestly, his wife should be ashamed because she should be the number one person in his life going, "Dear, we need to have the conversation about whether or not you're allowed to drive anymore."
I mean, seriously, this is the one you want, Democrats? This is the one you want?
Well, anything's better than Cheeto Blumph Nazi Hitler.
Oh, I will take my orange man over your hair sniffer any day. I mean, absolutely any day. Because I mean, this is the guy. This is what we're talking about.
And by the way, I sit on the stand, and it
Did he say I shit on the stand?
get hot. I got hairy legs that turn turn blonde in the sun, and the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap, and I've loved kids jumping on my lap. And I tell you what.
I mean,
I tell you what.
How?
I think the only time a grown man is allowed to say, "I love kids jumping on my lap," is when he's wearing a Santa suit and he's sitting in that little pavilion in the mall. And even then.
Even then.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even then. It's not appropriate, Joe. It's not appropriate. And you know what? This is the American voter. This meme is fantastic because this is something that just happened. This dude just didn't give a shit that Joe Biden was standing there staring at him. Just kept watching this football game. I'm good with it. The fact of the matter, though, everybody's not actually ignoring Joe. Instead, we're all watching, and if the Democrats are not watching the shit show that is Joe Biden in absolute stunned horror, then we should all be looking at every Democrat voter we know in absolute stunned horror.
The truth is, man, if you gave them the choice, if you said, okay, you can have anybody other than Trump, anybody, a monkey eating a ham sandwich, dude, they're going to take the monkey. Their hatred of Trump is
obviously
such that, well, no, monkeys usually have their own teeth.
And they only fling their own poo?
Yeah, I mean, just everything about that clip, from the roaches to the leg hair, like, I want to see like the whole interview just because I want to understand how in the world that was even contextually appropriate. No, it probably wasn't. After watching the debates and see in real time Joe go off on, leave the record player on and stuff like that. Like, he probably just lost his thread. Like, it is what it is.
So yesterday on the show that shall
That
never be
wasn't.
viewed again, on the show that wasn't, Cameron, you floated the idea that maybe, just maybe, Joe is playing some kind of high-level game and he's faking it. And we won't go all the way down the path, because I honestly don't think I'm sorry, brother, I don't think it's an idea that's terribly worth exploring, because at the end of the day, it's this simple. What's the upside? There's no upside.
No, I mean, I thought maybe possibly it could just be part of his ego. We are talking about a man that might have been friends with Jeffrey Epstein, who, by the way, didn't kill himself.
No.
But I mean,
we've seen. Well, in fairness, Steven Crowder did his best to debunk the Epstein didn't kill himself meme, and proved beyond, well, nothing. He proved within a modicum of very, very reasonable doubt that in the unlikely event Epstein was unattended long enough and able to fashion a rope out of his own bed sheets, and somebody was there to hold him up by the ankles while he forcibly applied additional force to his neck beyond that available through the act of hanging that has been described, then it's maybe possible that he could have died in the way that is described. And even then, because there's somebody holding his ankles, Epstein didn't kill himself.
Yeah, he wasn't alone in his cell. Like, it was pretty clever, Crowder. Because he didn't actually say Epstein was murdered. He just said he killed himself with help. And it's like, I see what you did there, Steven. I see what you did there.
Yep.
But yeah, this is your front runner. Absolutely.
Now, so speaking of front runners, I actually, early on, I had the suspicion that somebody else was going to be the front runner. That I thought that Kamala Harris was going to be the front runner. Quite simply because she checks all the right intersectional boxes.
A she of color,
yeah,
and a daughter of immigrants from two different backgrounds. Like, ooh, she had them Oppression Olympics on lock. And then,
with the whole sex scandal and the threesomes with what's his face that helped her get into her first political offices, apparently she licks all the appropriate boxes too.
Oh dear.
Which checks another box.
That's, yeah.
Welcome to the alphabet. But what happened? Okay. We were pretty sure after Tulsi Gabbard wrote in on her like a sexy lingerie superstar on her murder board of serfitude and Hawaiian punched Kamala Harris, that was the end of her race. And, well, if you thought that, that should have been more dramatic. And if you thought that, you're right.
Yeah, Kamala Harris has suspended her campaign. Oh,
it's over. It's over.
Yeah, she had that opening debate where.
By Kamala.
Yeah, she had that performance in the opening debate where she kind of beat up on Joe Biden. And then there was the hot mic moment at the beginning of the second debate where Joe Biden said, "Take it easy on me, kid." And there were actually people who were offended by this, even though that's actually a hell of a compliment from Joe Biden to Kamala Harris. And then Kamala thought she was just going to just ride it out. And then, man, Tulsi and her Hawaiian punch, like, just everything about it. Like, that, dude, I was watching that debate. Like, there was just something about Kamala's face. Like, she looked like a football fan that just watched their team fumbled the ball on the goal line and it got run back for a pick six the other direction, and they lost the football game. Like that's
Well,
like
she looked
her
like she
eyes,
got up on
dude,
a
were like,
presidential debate stage and somebody walked out with evidence and said, "You murdered Epstein. You personally did it, and I can prove it." Like, damn, son.
well, hey, I guess that's what happens when you smoke weed and listen to Tupac 2 years before he drops his first album.
That dope was so fly. We time traveled.
Yeah, man. So goodbye, Kamala. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and call it. This was such a disaster for her. I doubt she will ever be president at this point.
No, that's it's over. It would not be unreasonable to expect this is the end of her political career, because
Uh, sh-
even running for the seat that she's already in, now she's going to have to contend with all the dirty laundry that Tulsi aired about her. That
she's in
may
a
have
pretty
been out.
safe district.
She is in a safe district, but now she's potentially vulnerable to primary by a challenging Democrat. And the Justice Democrats are out there taking down any Democrat they can and replacing them with an actor like what's her face, Occasional Cortex,
Yeah, yeah.
the
Speaking
boob
of good,
tender.
um, you heard Chunk Uygur is actually
Yes.
he's actually running for a congressional seat.
Yes, Chunk Uygur. He's put his hat in the, and I mean they filed financials. It's done deal. He's running, and who's he running against? Is he running against Papadopoulos?
It's some bizarre situation where he doesn't even live in the district yet. Like he's literally in the process of buying a house in the district so that by the
Wait,
time the
Chunk
voting,
is?
yes, yes, the district he's filed in, he doesn't even live there. He's literally in the process of buying a house right now. Um,
So it's like Pelosi's pajama boy that was running down here a couple of years ago. What was his name? We've already forgotten about him.
well, not enough people voted their ass off.
Also, that's the one. That's the
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Make sure you get to the polls and vote your ass off. Apparently, people did, and Karen Handel won.
Yep.
Whoops.
Of
But
course,
yeah,
she's turning out to be not much better than he would have been, but you know what's better than a Democrat? The
a not
worst
Democrat.
Republican you can elect. Now that was not a true statement 30 years ago. Um, that's a complicated thing to digest, but the fact is that 30 years ago, the difference between a Republican and a Democrat was approach. However, it is reasonable to say it would be irresponsible to point out that every vote for a Democrat prior to today has led to the progressive woke monstrosity that is the modern DNC. But
But yeah, well, I mean, Kamala was woke, and uh, nope.
yeah. So Kamala's gone. Joe is still looking like the front runner. I just don't think Pocahontas is gonna pick it up.
So at this point, I'm going to give you some pushback on that. I think barring some surge from like Booty Judge or one of the other like third, fourth place candidates, um, I think I think Pocahontas is actually going to be the one that ends up with it because as this process goes on, like I think Styx is right here. What's going to happen is Joe was going to swoop in, do well in Iowa, swoop in, do well in New Hampshire. I still think he may do well in South Carolina, but I think having a poor showing in those first two states is going to make the people that have enough sense to realize he's a walking liability It's going to make them nervous. And I think the next in line for them is Elizabeth Warren. And I bet it's her, man. I do.
Oh, we'll see how that goes. All right, well, that's all I've got this morning. Anything else from you, my man?
We didn't actually WTF CNN anything this morning.
You're right, we didn't. We'll just go with this.
How dare you?
We didn't get any of those in either.
How dare you?
All right. But that is all I've got for you this morning. So we're going to call it right there.
Wake the hell up. Go to work.
Be safe out there, boys.
Dude, is that Greta clip ever going to get old?
I doubt it. All right, bro.